Dear Me I Was is powerful art, but it's not a video game really. If I tell you it's a 40-minute long uninteractive story where you occasionally click on things, it's not going to do it any favors, but this is beautiful. Every frame of the artwork could be displayed. It's the style that we've seen in Hotel Dusk and traces of Another Code, but fully realized in stunning HD, with an extremely powerful soundtrack amplifying everything that happens. The incredible music and imagery is all Dear Me I Was really has to tell its story. There's no dialogue, I don't know any of the characters' names, but it has more emotion than many 100-hour-long games with heaps of voice acting have. It gives you a silent reflection, and those few scenes where you click on things effectively work as an insertion to feel like the main character. It's about a girl who the world isn't kind to. She loses her dad as a kid, and we see how that affects her entire life in the span of around 40 minutes. How it affects her relationships, how she stops herself from being happy, how she finds happiness. One constant she has is art. From when her dad dies, she draws a simple picture of him, and that develops into her passion. She harnesses her skills and uses that loss as the foundation of her art. And later in life, she finds someone else to share that with, someone else who loves art, and there's hope and optimism. But it's not that easy. One big theme throughout the game is self-oppression. She'll do things that don't make sense initially, but the silence and the power of the score makes you understand why it makes sense to her. And the use of color is astonishing, going from these bold, beautiful watercolors to cold, uncolored sketches. It's especially powerful when there's an embrace. I loved it. There are so few games that try this style of storytelling, and I understand why. You could watch the entire playthrough on YouTube and get most of the experience, but this is worth paying for. And you know, as a father myself, I do sometimes think about what would happen to my family if something happened to me, how it would affect my kids, and I got emotionally tied to this story. I teared up multiple times. It's very sad, but it's beautiful. The best parts are in finding hope when there's really nothing. The main character is talented, she has friends over her life and love, but always ends up alone, and yet there's still beauty that emerges from that. Moments of light that make life worth living, and depending on where you are in life, I think there's a lot of healing an art form like this can give you. It's a valuable game, so even if it's barely a game and more of a standalone episode, I think it's worth it, but that very much won't be true for everyone. No doubt some people heard at the start of the video this is 40 minutes long with no real input, and they went, nope. But from my perspective, true art is worth paying for. It's a story of belonging and meaning, and artistic creation being at the center of it all is wonderful. In the age of AI generation, everything about this game is the polar opposite from message to execution. It's human. If you can corner yourself off with headphones and no other distractions, I think this will probably really do something for you. And if the team is able to use the tech they've made here for fully featured games like Hotel Dusk or Another Code, then we're truly in for something special. But right now, this is a game for a certain kind of person. And that's fine. Not every game should be for everyone, and that's kind of the point. If everything was just tailored to everyone, then there'd be no art. It's a story where interaction isn't necessary and may have even hindered it, and if that turns you off, that's fine. But I will say this didn't need to be Switch 2 exclusive. You can use the controller like a mouse, but moving the sticks works just fine. And actually the cursor sticks to objects, and that doesn't feel quite right with a mouse. You'd rather have complete fluidity, and so sometimes you try moving the mouse and it's just kind of stuck to an object. Honestly, sticks are kind of the way to go. So maybe they'll release this for Switch 1 players down the line, but at least you get gorgeous 4K output out of everything, which at least gives this merit to the platform of choice. This is a very difficult game to talk about because I don't want to spoil anything, and it's also very difficult to put a score on. I don't have anything bad to say about it, and it's incredible to see a publisher as big as Arc System Works give something so unconventional a try. Should it be punished for not following the usual video game standards? I don't think so. I liked it being short, I liked it following its vision, and I just liked what it stood for. Maybe that won't be for you, that's okay, we can fight later, but for now, I think Dear Me I Was deserves an 8 out of 10. I'm very eager to see where the X-Sync side of Arc System Works go from here. They've got some of the most interesting legacy around, and if they continue telling stories like this in a more robust way, I think it can really turn a lot of heads. But Demi I Was is our little secret achiever, a game that celebrates art and life. Won't be for everyone, but it sure hits if it's for you.